Iron Dome fatigue. Iran finds the cracks in Israel's missile shield. In the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, the world is now witnessing something unprecedented. Israel's air defense systems are beginning to show signs of fatigue. In the past, Israel was widely known for having the most effective multi-layered air defense system in the world, a combination of Iron Dome, David's Sling, and Arrow, capable of intercepting a wide range of aerial threats. However, events in recent days have been markedly different. A report by NBC News citing senior Israeli intelligence officials has served as a warning bell for the world, as the interception effectiveness of Israel's missile defense has reportedly dropped significantly. Only about 65% of missile attacks from Iran were intercepted in the last 24 hours. This marks a major setback, especially when compared to the previous day, when the interception rate was close to 90%. This decline is not merely a statistic. It reflects the fragility of a defense system that has long been considered robust. To understand why this is happening, we must look at the sheer volume of attacks launched by Iran toward Israel in recent days. According to various sources, Iran has not just fired dozens, but hundreds of missiles, including ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and kamikaze drones. The attacks were carried out in waves, creating a situation where Israel's defense systems could no longer function optimally and were beginning to become overwhelmed. In military terms, this strategy is known as oversaturation. Air defense systems are designed to handle a limited number of threats at a time. When the volume of attacks exceeds the system's response capacity, some threats are bound to get through. That is what is now happening over Israeli skies. Missiles that were previously intercepted are now beginning to hit their targets. To understand the decreasing interception rate of Israel's defense systems, we must briefly examine how the air defense works. Israel has three main defense layers. The first layer is Iron Dome, a short-range system most effective against short to medium-range missiles. The second layer is David's Sling, a mid-range system used to counter tactical ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. The third layer comprises Arrow 2 and Arrow 3, long-range systems designed to intercept intercontinental or strategic ballistic missiles from countries such as Iran. For years, Iron Dome has proven itself in dealing with Hamas rockets, but it was not designed to counter hypersonic missiles or heavy ballistic missiles from Iran. This is where David's Sling and Arrow were expected to take over. However, according to recent reports, David's Sling and Arrow are under extreme pressure, and it has even been reported that Israel has run out of interceptors for Arrow. This shortage is not just a logistical issue. It is a serious warning sign that Israel's air defense systems can no longer counter all incoming threats, especially those from Iran, which uses heavy ballistic missiles with high destructive power. The missile attacks carried out by Iran on Israel this time are indeed massive, practically a missile invasion. The strategy is highly effective when Israel's defense systems must stop many missiles at once. Both automated systems and human operators are forced to prioritize missiles targeting vital assets and allow some other threats to pass through. This is a classic dilemma in missile defense. You can't shoot them all if too many come at once. Such large-scale attacks will also drain Israel's stock of interceptors. And here lies the problem. Each interceptor missile is extremely expensive. For example, an interceptor for the Iron Dome can cost between $50,000 and $100,000 per unit. Meanwhile, an interceptor for Arrow 3 can cost between $2 million and $3 million per unit. When Iran launches hundreds or even thousands of missiles, defense costs become extremely high and unsustainable over time unless there's a rapid external supply. The United States is reportedly trying to increase the supply of interceptor missiles to Israel, but this process will take time. Even if aid arrives, shipping, distribution, and system integration will take days. And in a war that unfolds hour by hour, time is the greatest enemy. The pressure is mounting as Iran shows significant improvements in the types and capabilities of the missiles they use. One of the new threats that greatly troubles Israel is the hypersonic missile. This type of missile travels at extremely high speeds, even exceeding Mach 5, and has maneuverability that makes it difficult to track with conventional radar. It is not only fast, but agile. two characteristics that severely challenge any air defense system in the world. In recent attacks, Iran's hypersonic missiles have drastically shortened the reaction time of Israel's defense systems. Previously, Israeli defense forces had about 10 to 11 minutes from detection to response. That window has now been reduced to just 6 to 7 minutes. This is a major difference in the world of defense, where every second counts. In that short span, Israeli operators must identify targets, choose the right interceptor system, and launch with high precision. As if that weren't enough, Iran is also using another tactic that complicates Israel's defense systems: the use of multiple warhead or submunition missiles. These missiles, upon reaching a certain altitude, release dozens of small warheads that scatter over a wide area. One of Iran's missiles is reported to release about 20 submunitions at an altitude of 7 kilometers. Each submunition carries a 2.5 kilograms warhead and spreads over a radius of up to 16 kilometers. This tactic is effective for two main purposes. First, to spread the threat across a wider area and potentially strike multiple targets simultaneously. Second, to force Israel's defense systems to launch more interceptors for a single incoming missile. Since each submunition is considered a threat, the system must respond to all of them. This quickly drains interceptor stockpiles. The use of submunitions is very different from MRV, multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle systems typically used in nuclear weapons. MIRVs are designed to hit several separate targets far apart, whereas submunitions are aimed at striking many points within a single region. In this context, Iran has not yet shown evidence of having MIRV capability, but using submunitions alone is already enough to cause a major strategic effect, wearing down the opponent's defense systems. Amid rising missile pressure and growing operational burden, Israel also faces a potential attack in a less visible domain: electronic warfare. On June 16th, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed that in one of its attack waves, it used a new electronic warfare method that caused Israel's defense systems to target each other. Although this claim has not been visually verified, it sends a strong signal that Iran may be trying to disrupt communication and navigation systems of Israel's interceptors. According to Iranian media reports, Israel's command and control systems experience disruptions, causing missiles to be fired in the wrong direction. Circulating videos show an Arrow interceptor veering off course, although it has not been confirmed whether this was due to system disruption or a technical error. However, history records that Iran has previously succeeded in executing complex electronic operations, most notably when it captured the U.S. RQ-170 Sentinel stealth drone in 2011, allegedly by spoofing GPS signals. If Iran has indeed used electronic warfare to disrupt Israel's air defense systems, this marks a new level of escalation in technological warfare, far more difficult to counter than physical missile attacks. These types of assaults are invisible, leave no trace like explosions, yet can damage coordination and decision-making in a matter of seconds. The big question now is, what will happen if Iran's attacks continue and Israel truly runs out of interceptor missiles? The answer could be grim. Israel may begin prioritizing offensive strikes to eliminate launch sources before missiles are fired. This would mean more air raids on Iran. Another possibility is deploying secondary defense systems like laser weapons. Israel is known to be developing a laser-based system called Iron Beam. However, this system is still in the testing phase and not yet fully operational. In addition, Israel could request direct assistance from the United States, including the deployment of systems like THAAD or Aegis Ashore, which could add another layer of protection. But again, this process is not as fast as flipping a switch. Given all these developments, it's clear that Israel is facing its toughest military situation in the past 2 decades. Its once proud air defense system is beginning to show cracks under immense pressure, as Iran has successfully exposed weaknesses in what was long considered nearly perfect, by launching massive, simultaneous, and sustained attacks from multiple directions. With interception effectiveness dropping to 65%, and reports that Israel's Arrow interceptor stockpiles are running low, the world is now witnessing a real possibility. Israel's skies may no longer be as safe as before. And if Iran's attacks continue at the current pace and intensity, and no external support arrives quickly, Israel may not only lose its defensive edge, but also face major infrastructure damage and deep psychological impacts on its population. In modern conflict, air dominance is no longer just about attacking. It's also about surviving.